Hi, everybody. Welcome to Crypto Happy Hour. I'm Bill.
I'm crazy.
This is Toby. Toby, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you.
We're going to put a little happy in everybody's happy hour today.
I think we need like a happy week.
We might need a happy week after what's happened recently.
I'm very excited.
So we're gonna help everybody, right? We're gonna sit down and we're gonna talk.
I'll try.
I think you'll. I think you're gonna do great. You know, I noticed you got a different outfit on today versus last time.
I change my clothes almost daily. So that's good.
That is
and
good.
I mostly bathe too. So
that's good.
If anybody wants to know.
Right.
But
it's a good suggestion for the crypto bros out there. You know, you never know.
Bathing daily is useful.
Touching grass.
Yeah. Touching grass is always a good thing. And I'm wearing a more PG top. Apparently there were comments last time.
Oh,
can't help if people are easily distracted.
Hey, listen, it's all good. We need all the love we can get these days.
That's true. That's true. Everybody needs a little happiness right now.
That's right. So let's begin. Let's begin with a brief review of current events, shall we?
Ooh, that was always my favorite.
Remember current events in social studies?
I was going to say that was my favorite part. The rest of social studies, not so much, but I did like the current events. And it's good that you update me because, I'm not good at watching news.
Okay. So here's the 411. Okay. Technology stocks were overvalued. Okay.
I've been saying that for like almost a year.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Sell.
It's finally caught up with them.
Yeah. Right. People didn't want to believe me.
Right. Warren Buffett was selling. Right. So
when did Warren start selling?
Well, the news came out that Warren had been selling for like 2 months when Berkshire Hathaway came out with a report.
Okay.
So he sold half of his Apple holdings. And he sold all of his Bank of America holdings. And he's sitting on roughly $250 billion in cash.
I'm surprised he didn't sell more of it sooner. No, I am.
Okay, so
I mean, normally we talk. Me and Warren, we're like
this.
I tell you, I actually knew his wife when I was a little kid.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I was little, but yeah, she was a friend of my mom's.
Yeah. So
isn't that funny? Small world.
Small world.
Small world.
And Warren was selling, and then we found out Warren Buffett was selling at the same time that Jerome Powell. I would describe him as, perhaps a little grumpy,
Poor Jerome.
All right.
Yeah, I don't feel sorry for the dude at all. But
no, not really. No. It's like
I'm a little irritated
one of the classic villains, I think, in American history, right?
I'm super shocked. I mean, I really felt like the interest rates were going to get their first cut in June or July was the thing. But I mean, I remember I told you, like, for sure, this fall with the election coming up, it would seem to be a good way to boost happiness.
Right.
And get more people to the polls. But silly Jerome, he thinks he knows better.
Right. Well, I think Jerome is...
I emailed him. He doesn't answer.
He doesn't answer you? He's not answering anybody.
Because
I mean,
he's hiding.
He came out and said, I think what he did was out of fear, right? In other words, he's afraid that he's going to be known as the guy that let inflation get out of control. So
Especially with the new administration that's probably coming in.
Right. So he was less conciliatory on, like, he was less dovish in his language. Right. In other words, in July, he could have come out and said, we're very happy with things, the way they're going. And, if they continue this way, then we'll be happy to cut rates in September. That wasn't the tone. The tone was kind of like, we'll see. Okay.
Like the grumpy parent.
Right. And then there were events in Japan. So the good news is the Japanese managed to save their currency by raising interest rates and boosting the yen.
Which
That
caused the
said,
dollar to fall.
which caused the dollar to fall, which would normally be wonderful for crypto.
Mm-hmm.
However, the falling yen is a component of hedge fund speculation, right? Hedge funds use the falling yen to effectively gamble in mass, hence the bubble in equities, right? So the bubble
that would make a good movie title, The Falling Yen.
The falling yen. Right. The falling dollar would be a better movie, but for crypto heads.
No, but it's not as catchy.
Not as catchy.
Yeah, because falling yen.
And I thought that, good for the Japanese for saving their currency. Like, I always thought it would be much worse if they lost control and the yen indiscriminately plummeted. Okay, but that didn't happen. So I think
if the yen plummeted, that would be good for crypto. I think the reason people are selling crypto is fear, always, right? But like a type of stopping the hemorrhaging. We've been talking about the decoupling for a while. And so logically, it would seem that, if these tech stocks are going down, well, everybody should be moving into crypto. I think we talked about that on the last show. That just makes sense to me. However, people don't make sense, unfortunately. Markets don't always make sense and do the logical thing. So it's probably people like, oh my gosh, I'm bleeding from, all of this stuff I have in the stock market. So I'm going to balance it out by selling over here too,
Right.
And that might be why. But I don't think it's going to last very long, especially if, like I feel that we haven't quite seen the bottom of the tech stock mess. Yeah. Again, I thought we would see it much earlier this year. So, yeah.
I mean, things like tech stocks are down anywhere from, some of them are 20%. The general stock market is only down 7% from its high. So it's not the end of the world. However, in equities, any down move to them is like, oh my God, the Fed needs to cut rates now. It's an emergency.
Well, they should.
They should.
Yeah, they should. I mean, I'm still feeling like it's on the horizon. Right. I'm just surprised that it's taking them so long, because like when they raised last year, I'm like, oh, this is ridiculous, but I was right. I mean, I predicted, the exact amount it would be raised and then held. I'm just surprised that it's still, but I think when we talked, I was like, with the election coming up, it's bound to go down. So hopefully that makes everybody happy. Does it make you happy?
Well, interest rates are falling in the bond market. They just haven't been formally lowered by the Fed.
Yeah.
Now, currently, the market is embracing your attitude and is moving out because markets can move ahead of the Fed.
Yeah.
Right. So they're pricing in, Fed movement. Now, of course, since you waited too long, and as you've noted about the tech stocks, right? Every big recession, every big decline, in history can be tied back to some sort of government policy error, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, like almost everything horrible that's happened can be tied back to some, it's not some one dude, sitting there, maybe the pandemic stuff. I don't know. But yeah, it's always that way. So not shocking.
Right. Not shocking.
Not shocking.
And then the question is, will there be consequences of him waiting too long? Like, for example, if tech stocks and the yen continue to move like this, can you have?
I don't think so. It'll almost be like you said, people are already moving in advance,
right,
of it. But the general public, I mean, I think the drop in crypto was definitely people trying to recover from the huge losses in tech,
right.
And so it was just kind of a balancing out of things, which is unfortunate, but like I said, it is what it is. But no, I feel like once they lower rates, it'll be euphoric, which is why I think it's got to happen before the election, because that would just, I mean, the longer they take to do this, to make this correction, the worse it'll be for the election when it comes. And so somebody's responsible's got to step up and
do something.
Yeah.
Right. So most of the talk in financial markets now is like there's a meeting in September, and I would assume at this point some sort of cut then is a given, right?
Yeah. And I think once that cut happens, everybody will go, "Oh, yay, we're moving in the right direction," and it'll push a little bit.
Right. And everybody in markets, like, people in equities expect the Fed to save them like immediately. So a lot of people are talking about, the emergency Fed meeting that's happening in the imagination of the equity market. The stock market guys, they love their fantasies. You know what I'm saying?
I love mine.
And you love
I
yours.
think mine are very different from theirs.
Yeah, they might be. Right. The question is, it's like I keep saying, hey guys, I don't think that's going to happen. That would be great for crypto, right? But
I have no idea what these people do. It would be really cool to go, like, take your daughter to work day, and
at the
I
Fed,
could go and see, like, what the hell are these people doing? But for sure, it's on their mind whether they have a regular meeting or not. They're not idiots. They can't be going along saying everything's great. I think they just like everything else, there's a big government error. A lot of times human nature is they don't want to be wrong, so they double down, and so it feels like they should have done something in June or July, but instead they were like, no, things are getting a little bit better. Let's just, double down on our position. I mean, not double down by raising rates again, but holding on to this fantasy. They're living in fantasy too, and their fantasy is way different from mine. I'm pretty sure.
I'm sure. Right. They're
I think mine has roller coasters in it, and
that's right. And these guys, I think, have nightmares about inflation, about being blamed for it long term. Right.
Yeah,
or there's concern that they're going to be seen as trying to like do something to boost the current, administration. But, they're obviously they're actually looking at the error of their ways on the screen. So,
well, they have to. So whether they're having a secret meeting, I don't know. I mean, this is their job. So they're probably looking at this stuff all day long.
Right.
They don't need a secret meeting. It's literally what they do every day.
Right. And the Fed has something called the plunge protection team. Right. Yeah, for real.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah.
But I don't think it involves a dunk tank, does it?
No, it does not. It does not.
That's also in my fantasy.
That sounds absolutely
way
fantastic.
more fun.
Way more fun. But can these guys, will these guys come in? Like the Fed doesn't have to lower rates for the plunge protection team to like press a button and flood the system with high powered money to help stop what's happening, right? And this goes back to
Let's hope they don't. I feel like they've been holding this position for a really long time, and I think they're gonna stay grumpy. I think they're gonna lower rates. I don't know if that means what stay grumpy means, but
okay. Well, if they're gonna lower rates, okay. Well, yeah, they're gonna lower rates in September. Can they do something to arrest what's going on in stocks and crypto? Whether it's rates or the plunge protection team. I mean, I'm just letting you know what's on the forefront of people's mind. I mean, literally, the president of El Salvador sent out a silly tweet saying, basically the Fed's going to print money now to save my Bitcoin position. That's not what he said, but he was kind of making a joke that they're warming up the printing press.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, look how many years has this been going on where every solution to every problem is always, let's just print more money. It's like we have 12-year-olds in charge that don't understand. That is not sustainable. It's like kids running a lemonade stand.
Right.
Not a country. Oh my God.
Yeah, the kids are running the country. And then, that goes back to the rise of crypto, right? Like, the crypto bros were recently at Bitcoin Nashville wearing, orange Bitcoin sneakers and cheering speakers when Bitcoin was up at 70K. And there was this like euphoric emotional moment. And then as soon as that was over, two candidates really like, Bitcoin, right? as soon as that was over, literally this like reality thunderstorm blew into town.
Well, that,
right?
and, and also there's concern about the tech stocks. But, I mean, my opinion is don't get your panties in a twist every time there's a big thing. I mean, if you're listening to Bill's advice and staying on top, this shouldn't be a problem, right? I mean, hopefully, when Bitcoin hit a high, you liquidated some of those assets and protected yourself. Just that's what Warren Buffett's doing, right?
Right. Well,
not at a high, but I mean, he's, if he sees that, if he's selling, then he sees it's going to go lower. And I believe he's pretty accurate with that. I do think that techs have not stopped falling, but I don't think that, I think the Bitcoin move is just reactionary, and it's going to be like last year, end of September, October, through the end of the year. We're going to,
go. Yeah, they call it the banana move, where it's up only.
Yeah. So if you're in a healthy place right now, then everything's on sale. Let's do a shopping spree. I mean, ETH's way down. If you're not buying ETH, I don't know why.
Right. Well, I mean, ETH was ETH was at 2,000 something this morning, like just above 2,000.
We haven't seen that in a long time.
That's people were saying Ethereum is dead, kind of thing, and Vitalik came out with a news item that said
those people. Who are those people?
You'd be surprised how FUD can spread, particularly when there's like a shocking move over a weekend, right? Like the crypto market is very good. Like when it shakes the tree, you know what I'm saying? It's like I don't know. It's almost like some sort of nature show, right? When there's a storm in crypto, I mean, it can really be unbelievable. Like it's been a while since we've seen big cap coins move 20% in 2 days.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, people out there are really not gonna last that long.
But that, I mean, that's the issue. Even like with the stock market and all of these kind of things, is that they're too dependent on people's emotions. People get scared, then they sell, and and so it's going to happen.
Okay.
If it didn't, then it wouldn't be as profitable. The reason it's profitable is because it's volatile. If it's not, then it's not really that profitable. So like I was saying, I mean, we just went through a crazy housing price increase here in Austin, and now it's coming down. You don't see as much volatility typically in the housing market. And, I was in real estate investing for a long time, and that's one of the joys of it, but if you want to make more money, that's not the best place to do, unless there's a real estate market crash, which I went through, and that was a great time to buy. Everybody was buying everything they could, because the market crashed. So.
Okay, well, that's probably a great message for the crypto bros out there who, they wanted their meme coins to go up, and they wanted everything to just go up, and everybody was waiting for something euphoric to happen, and they got exactly the opposite.
You have to stay on top of it every day.
And then of course there's this idea, that you came up with that, there's stocks and Bitcoin's going to decouple from stocks.
I think we're already seeing. I mean, I think we've been seeing that for like the past year. But more and more and more. Yeah.
Right. And then there's the idea that, altcoins can perhaps have a mind of their own because.
Yeah, for sure. We're already seeing that.
Altcoins, like some altcoins have just, I don't know, some altcoins have like vaporized recently. Mm-hmm. It's almost like someone was leaning on the altcoins to try to break something like Bitcoin or Ethereum. Mm-hmm. So that, they can literally like hoover up all the Bitcoin. Mm-hmm. In other words, the government, huge corporations, everybody wants to buy Bitcoin, but the only way to get Bitcoin lower really is to make everybody in crypto so scared they sell. And how do you make people in crypto scared? Well, I don't know. You pressure altcoins.
No, that
So,
makes sense. I
so I
can
mean,
see that happening.
okay,
Smart people, I guess. So the key is don't be afraid.
don't be afraid.
Yeah, I have the quote. I'm not going to remember it exactly, but it's move in the direction that's the opposite of where fear wants to make you move. I wish I knew. Some Asian philosopher said that.
Okay.
I might not have quoted it exactly. Someone can look it up for me. But I think that's always a good policy, because if you're doing something because you're afraid,
It's happy
we
hour.
we we wish it was a beer, but it's
A root beer.
How healthy of you. Yeah, so you do the exact opposite of whatever you're afraid of. Whenever fear comes up, do the exact opposite, and
So
then
if
you'll
you're
be way
afraid,
successful.
fade yourself.
Fade yourself?
Yeah, do the opposite. In other words, if you're afraid,
I
be
haven't heard
brave.
that expression. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's the time to be bold. You know, I mean, for me, like a good example of that is when the real estate market crashed all those years ago, and people were going crazy, walking away from houses. The inventory was insane. This was in Arizona, which was one of the harder hit states. And, the people that I knew were just like, sale, buy up as much as you can. I mean, houses were selling of like a quarter of what they were at the height of the market,
Right.
And
Well, that's what you've got right now in altcoins. You have.
yeah, and you should just, I think you should look at, I was telling you earlier that, like, look at one of the things that I look at when making a decision of keeping or selling something, right? Whether I want to buy or it is look, because everybody gets super myopic and just looks at what's it doing today, right?
Right.
But look at numbers for it, if it's a coin that you're holding or a coin you're thinking about getting. Look at the numbers for the last 6 months and the last year. And there's a pattern. And I know you talk about the patterns a lot, but you can literally look at the chart and go, oh, yeah, that looks like it's going to go up. Or at least that's what I do, And
Right.
I know you talk to people a lot about how to look at those with the little diagrams and stuff. I don't use that, but it's a similar sort of thing, right? So if you've got something, and hopefully you're already looking at this, if you pay attention, maybe check in once a week. If you don't want to do it every day, it is a lot, but look at those lines, or just watch you, although you don't cover every coin. But let's say you have a coin that you're not talking about,
Right.
you can look at things historically,
Okay.
and look at the trend. I mean, if it's the ones that you need to get rid of are really easy. They just keep going down. And I'm not talking about 2-3 days or even a couple of weeks, but I'm talking about over the course of months, you can just see it sloping down, or if
Right.
there's a lot of jumpiness, that makes me nervous. I don't like that. I'd rather see more like wave type motions is kind of what I look for, or a sideways thing that I don't know.
Right. The square. The square.
You're really good at
Well,
explaining this, and for me, I'm a visual artist. I paint, right? So for me, it's like a picture. So I just know how it makes me feel, and I'm like, oh, I don't like those bouncy, jumpy ones. They feel like you're on a trampoline.
Well, I mean,
so you explain in your typical terms, because I don't know what they're called.
Well, I mean, here's what you're describing. If something is trading in a square range, that was like the Pepe formation. If something is moving inside of a square, right? In crypto, that's particularly constructive. Now, when you were talking about where are we versus 6 and 12 months ago, a lot of the market has gone all the way up and all the way back down.
Not completely.
Not completely.
No.
Right.
There are some, right? And there are some, which we won't talk about today, but we are going to look at some stuff that's still performing, because there are buckets that are still doing really good. And that's why I get excited when there's a down market, because that's a time for me to look at trends, right?
Right.
I look at
Whatever's
what's still
outperforming.
doing,
Good.
outperforming everybody else. And sometimes it's a whole new sector bucket, like I like to call it, sometimes it's just a particular coin that happens to be doing really, really well, but those are all very good pieces of information. When everything's going up, it's super hard to see any trend,
Right.
so for me, when the market's really going up, that's when I hold, and it's just like, unless I get a really juicy insight about something, but when I think what's most informative for me is when the market is down. When there's a drop, like now, I'm like, oh, there's a lot of good information out there. I can see the trends. I can see,
you can see where it was versus say 12 months ago, because we were talking about that
on a particular coin,
because
or just what's staying buoyant while everything else is going down. That's a good time to look at trends. Like last year, I don't, you may remember the time better than I, but there was a time where everything was kind of heading down, but there was a lot of gaming coins that were doing really super well, and then DeFi moved ahead of everybody else earlier this year from the end of last year. So that's how I look at trends. I actually get kind of excited when things go down. One, because I feel like there's good things that are going to be on sale, right? And two, because that's when I get insights about all the trends that are coming.
I see. That's interesting, right? Like the best time to look at charts is when it's down, which is funny because that's when people, I don't know, they want chart guidance, but a lot of times they get depressed and they see all this red ink and they think that they should give up. Whereas
that's why you, oh, sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, well, that's why I don't look at that day or even that week, but look at things more long term. You can't see a trend if you're just looking at what's going on today or this week. This month is a little bit more useful. I always look at the month, and then I'll bump it out to 3 months and 6 months. That's where you see trends. But anyway, what you're saying,
well, no, it's very interesting that you bring this up because August, late August was the bottom of the market last year. Right. There was actually a lot of despair in August. And there was.
That's why I said this year's going to be just like that, but milder.
Right. Yeah. And then there was, there was kind of a final low in early September, and there's a lot of just bringing in things like the new moon, like just had a new moon.
Yeah. We were talking about that earlier.
Right.
Very exciting. Leo.
Leo.
Drama.
Right.
Okay. My moon is in Leo.
Okay.
So this is a very dramatic time for me. Is it? I don't know. I'm always kind of dramatic. But yeah.
So to bring everybody up to speed, the moon is in the quadrant of space called Leo, right? And right, and then we just had the new moon. Okay, lunar cycles can affect psychology. So when I did this recent research, like I have a query system where I can say, hey, what happens when Bitcoin's down right after the new moon? Okay, and it turns out, well, Bitcoin doesn't do real well on average. But even the up and down moves, they're huge. They're like, 15 to 20% in either direction.
Yeah, which you just saw, right?
Right, yeah. Right. So, I mean, one thing that popped into my mind was like, wow, can this thing do something like a V bottom where, it kind of heaves one more time off equities? All right, and then
use that expression.
Right, and then
what the vision that comes in my head, it's like, after you've had a high in crypto, it's like everybody was partying, and then this is the hangover next day, right? So when you say the market's heaving, I just imagine people clinging to their porcelain.
Right, porcelain. There is a lot of porcelain worship, and there may be one more trip to the porcelain. But then there could be puke and rally. Like that's what I got out of the data.
Yeah, right? I think so. And I think the last time we talked earlier in July, and I was like, oh, I see like one more bottom coming. And then this fall, none of this will matter because whatever you see it going down, it's going to recover and go way up from that.
Right.
Does that make you feel better?
Some of the output
When you're heaving to your porcelain god?
Yes. When I'm thinking about bowing to the porcelain, yes, it does. It does make me feel better, because there was output that came out of the historical data machine. Like, I did some queries recently. Like, I was like, hey, I think this is going to be okay. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh my God, I couldn't press the send button fast enough. Sure enough, this thing turned, right. And now
So everybody who's in your Patreon, they got a heads up ahead of it.
The Patreon people got a definite heads up on Bitcoin and equities, right? For sure.
That's good.
So, you definitely want to go check out patreon.com/unhinged crypto to check us out, right?
I guess.
Oh yeah, you guess. Definitely. There's no doubt about it. So, there was some heads up about Bitcoin because, ironically, Zcash had done really well. And Zcash, every time Zcash and XRP go up, it's like a curse.
For Bitcoin, yeah.
It's a curse.
I have noticed that. It's why what was it? I think it was earlier this year. Zcash did a little blip, and I think it was right before Bitcoin took off, and then it crashed. And then I just went, I think our relationship has ended, me and Zcash.
Oh,
not.
I really don't want to break up with Zcash, but it is a toxic relationship, because every time Zcash goes up,
you like toxic relationship.
Oh no,
we
I
have
don't. I
just remember your meme coin addiction that you kept trying to get me into.
I don't know if I would say that. I had some
not
serious.
a fan of meme coins. Everybody here knows that. I say it all the time.
I missed out on the first round of meme coins and was determined to try to find something. And luckily, I GTFO'd that, and I just left it alone. Like
that's what I said. You like toxic relationships.
Okay, well, I'm trying to clean it up. I mean, we got the root beer here. You don't want to get married to a philosophy in crypto.
Yeah, and you don't
especially if you just I just said to myself, like, I'm wrong about this. Like, I was wrong, that there were going to be certain memes. Certain Popcat did great. You were a big Popcat
Yes,
fan.
I love since the beginning of the year. So it's done amazing since the beginning of the year.
Popcat did really well.
Just so cute.
Thank God.
And there's some functionality in that as well, right? Or am I confusing it with something else?
You might be confusing it with something else, but like Popcat, Popcat was making new highs on Bitcoin Nashville. And of course, what's happened to these meme coins lately is, wow. I mean, they were down 25%.
Yeah, well,
but that's okay. I mean, that's their
when they go up is when Bitcoin goes sideways and gets boring.
Right.
When they go down is when everybody freaks out and starts selling everything. So
right. So it's really interesting that anything that winds up higher than it was, it almost sounds like to me, the higher it is above last August's lows, or even, where the bull market drop. Well, I mean, that's one way to look at it. In other words, if everything is going to attack where it was when the bull market started, that can be where the final heave goes to. The other thing I
don't think it'll go quite as low as it did last year at the same time.
Right.
I think that's what I've been saying, like, since spring, right? Is we're going to have this summer and fall are going to be a repeat of last year, but not as extreme.
Okay. So, I mean, the other thing I was thinking is, like, if you see something on the next tech stock drop, if you see a crypto that actually holds up relatively well relative to where it was, like, say it's still 10% higher than it was last summer, that could actually be a really good sign.
Well, yeah, and that's what I was talking about that earlier. That's why my favorite research is when the market is down, because that's when you find these really fun things. Yeah, absolutely. If after today, if you're not checking out, yearly performance of
yearly and calendar year and then rolling 12 months.
I like both of them. Just because, I don't know. That's what I like.
Okay.
I'm not going to explain myself.
Oh, you don't have to. It's just,
I don't know. It's just what I do. This is what I do.
Hey, that's your thing. There's
Yeah. So
no explanation. And of
everybody
course, it makes complete sense because
I do the bubble thing. There's two of them. I forgot. Banter bubbles is one, and bubble something or other is the other one. Because again, I'm a visual person. Lines, I mean, I'm okay with it, but once I started finding these bubble places, oh, I just love them. You just change the thing, and the bubbles grow and shrink, and
right, change the time frames.
yeah, and that's what you should be doing.
Okay. Yeah. So we'll just definitely check out where things are on a rolling 6 and 12-month basis.
Yeah.
Because that can also be really juicy.
When you're done watching today's show, go and check the charts or the bubbles, whichever you like.
Right. And that can also be a great thing. That's a great idea for me because you can cue that stuff in. Like I can say to the historical machine, show me what happens to say Chainlink or Rune when I don't know, it's up over a 12-month period.
Still like Rune. I think Rune's still really doing well. I've been busy the past couple of days while the market was crashing.
Well, Rune has corrected, right? I mean, I don't think
everything's correcting.
Everything is corrected.
But I'm gonna do some more research.
There's a lot of super juicy stuff out there.
I know. We'll talk about it.
One of the reasons people are upset is because a lot of people got
you're thinking.
Oh no. Where I can go there, but it's we can go there on Twitter, but we're also broadcasting on YouTube. So
hi YouTube.
Hi YouTube. All right, we're keeping it clean, right?
I know. I covered my cleavage.
I know. I mean, that was that got a lot. I mean, that was really popular on Twitter. I mean, that really that moved the needle, right? That
trying to make people happy.
That's right. This is crypto happy hour.
Right. It is.
It is.
It's happy for at least an hour.
That's right. Do you want to rock cards?
Oh yeah. You wanted to ask me some questions?
Yeah,
sure. Let's do that.
So I mean, is this like what kind of format can we do? Can we ask about individual coins, or do we want to ask
do whatever
big
you
picture
want
things?
And if I don't like it, I'll just say that's a bad question.
Okay.
We've done this enough.
We've done this enough. I know what to ask. Okay, so one question I have is Solana versus Ethereum. Like, who comes back? Which one is, which one's going to come back quick?
Timing is always a bit of a challenge.
Right, but
we'll just look at
who's got the sexy factor.
Well, let's look at Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. If we're going to cover them, let's go ahead and cover them all.
Okay.
And see what might be coming up. Okay. Really wanted to pop out. Okay. So Bitcoin. We have the 2 of coins. So that's a wavy motion.
Okay.
A little bit of instability there. But if it's been down, it's going to go up. So I'm not seeing a big puke or a big, what do you call?
Banana. Right. Up only. Yeah. It's
needs to go with the puke thing.
Okay. So it's kind of like back to wavy, not spiky.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Very
oh God.
Yeah. So maybe that one will recover later. And then Solana. We got Wheel of Fortune, which is also. So it looks like things are going to be still a little wishy-washy, I'd say, for a little bit longer. But, again.
Oh, that card for Ethereum. Oh, man, every time I see that come up.
I know, you're so afraid of that card.
That card is like.
But
I do not have a good relationship with that. I do not.
Trauma.
Seriously.
Well, this, speaking of like the moon thing too, Leo is a lot of drama, likes excitement, But the closer, as this moon phase ends, and so we got, when did it start? Yesterday?
Yeah, new moon was yesterday.
Yeah. So 27 more days.
Right.
And then we'll go into Virgo, and that's a way more stable moon position. So
I see.
Just looking at it for a moon position.
Right.
I mean, this is really probably for the next week. So I see a little bit more, volatility coming up. But I don't think, my gut's saying it's not going to last very long. But it's a time. Like I said, I need to get in there and start looking at the next trends and where I want to buy, for whatever the next movement is. And
yeah, because
this is not a time to be selling, especially not Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. If you're freaking out, stop it.
Stop freaking out.
Stop it.
Don't do it.
No good decision is ever made when you're freaking out. It's like the car thing, like when you're on an icy road, right? And you panic because it starts to slip. What do they say? Okay, it's been a long time since I lived in a place that had ice on the road. Well, we did have that one storm here, but you move the wheel in the opposite direction of what your logic is telling you or your panicked mind is telling you need to do, right? So just think of it like that. The road is icy, but don't move in the direction that your panic and your fear make you want to move. Move in the opposite direction. It's never a good decision. Okay, so we got that. Little wavy now, still a little bit.
All right,
Okay.
that's really good.
Yeah, it's boring, but I wanted to pull a really exciting card for you, Bill, because I know how you get really sad.
Well,
and you got one of your least favorite cards.
Yeah.
There.
Oh, on Ethereum. Oh God.
I know, but that means buy to me. Okay.
Okay.
Now, what's your next question?
Okay, so I guess it's stock market, right? It's like Nvidia. A lot of people.
So let's just talk about tech stocks.
Tech stocks, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you want to do like QQQ? Like, remember how we did the?
Yes, I will do QQQ for you again.
QQQ.
Cutie. There you go. Do your meditation breath. Big inhale. There you go. Let the stress out.
That's right. It's like when the oxygen mask drops, put on your mask before you help the psychic.
Okay, so we just need one card for this.
Right. Qs.
All the Qs. Ooh, King of Pentacles. Excellent card. We love Pentacles.
That's right. That's the coin cards.
And Kings are very stable. So that would show a sign of it kind of mellowing out. It's not a sign of, a big upswing, right?
Right.
But a mellowing out of things because the Kings are always very stable.
So it's
probably people are going to be like, wow, this price is really low. I mean, I don't keep track of what stocks are doing like you do. But I think people will, especially if the interest rate things changes. Yeah.
So the interest rates have to change before people get back interested in
I don't know about that. I'm just saying, like, the psychological influence of that too will probably make people feel more hopeful and maybe want to get back into it. But I think, I don't know. Stocks are harder for me. Right. I don't see them the same way. That's why I, don't do much with them and I prefer to look at crypto stuff. It feels more alive to me. Right. That feels more artificially manipulated to me. That's I'm not saying people are doing it, but I think it's true.
You could.
So I don't really care, and that's why I'm super happy about the decoupling. The sooner crypto can decouple. Oh God, yeah.
I'm so over it.
I am
I'm so over it. I'm so over it. I don't know. Do you want to take a look at things like XRP?
Anything you want to ask.
Yeah, let's.
I mean, not anything, but
not
you know,
anything.
anything PG
This is
for YouTube.
anything. Like I don't know, XRP.
XRP. I know you've been talking about that for
right
a little
yeah,
while, and
I'm interested.
I'm feeling a little hopeful about it.
You know, a lot of people are like super bummed.
It's been really sad for a long time.
That's right. It has been.
But I don't think it's dead yet. I think, you know, I mean, I liked it last fall, not so much this year. I haven't been really hot on it at all this year. So.
Right. And then there's, you know, there's two other ones that came to mind. Like,
okay, you keep those to yourself right now. Unless, oh, you want to do 3? I can do 3. XRP. What's the other ones?
Okay, Chainlink.
Chainlink. Okay.
Okay, and Doge.
Oh, I like Doge. You know, I like Doge.
You know.
Did I whisper that?
You did. We're whispering about Doge. It's a live stream, but hopefully the mic picks it up. XRP, Chainlink, and Doge.
Yay!
Okay.
Yeah, that's excellent. This is a celebration. Very stable. So I would expect to see an upswing.
Ooh.
Waiting for harvest.
Chainlink. So those little coin cards
not
are
one of my favorites, but it's doing good. Oh, victory.
Oh, Doge.
I told you I like Doge. Yeah. So those are actually all really, really good. So free picks from Bill.
Right.
Those
this
are
is
your 3 favorites this week.
Well, those are on my mind, and there's a lot of people. There's some smart people out there.
Part of your fantasy, is it?
Well, you know,
we have a theme.
Crypto bros are always fantasizing about you know, moonshots and up only and all that kind of stuff.
Well, this is really good for all of those 3 cards, the 3 coins you just picked.
Right.
So.
I mean, when I see that, like, you know, let's say there's an Ethereum scare or a tech stock scare, or they've got one more booga to scare everybody. Like when I see that and I hear how you're talking about it, it's like you want to meet fear with bravery head on. From like when I walk away from this, like if I'm afraid, then you meet that with like bravery straight up right there. Like, you know, there were a lot of people this morning who were like, hey man, I'm scared.
That's why we did this today.
That's right. I'm upset. But I mean, now
I want to make people feel happy.
Right.
And that's the thing. You know, there's a lot of things that are down, but there's still things that are going up or will go up, right? So it's like, I don't know. You know, when the market goes down, I actually get excited because that's when trends are exposed. That's the best time to be watching those charts.
Right. And it's the best time to access your inner cowboy, because when I'm seeing this,
you can't ride a horse with a diaper.
Right. You can't. Yeah, you can't have diaper rash and ride the bull. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's what it is.
Right. You can't. You gotta, you know, because one of the reasons why I was asking about Chainlink.
I like you can't ride a horse with a diaper too.
Right. That's right.
Because I'm not riding bulls.
Right.
But
right. The mechanical bull.
It sounds like a good idea though. You have a little padding. I've gotten saddle sore before. It's not pleasant. I'm talking about riding a horse.
Right, I understand. I got it. I'm with you.
We're PG today.
We are PG.
Get even your mind out of the gutter,
even
Bill.
It's rated R in crypto. I mean, it's rated R. Like, you know, yo, man, call me. I'm upset.
I'm sorry.
No. It's all good. I mean, meaning it's like it's.
Did you have more you want to ask about?
Yes.
Okay, I'll shuffle while you chit chat.
Okay.
So you keep, you know. This is a sleight of hand, so you have to distract the audience.
That's right.
So what were you saying?
Well, you know, I'm always thinking about Rune, right?
Mm-hmm. You know, I love my Rune.
I think people think about Cardano a lot.
Oh, I haven't thought about Cardano in a while. So
right, and then there's a layer 1 protocol called Near.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we talked about that since last year. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, you know, you have Rune,
okay. So Rune,
Cardano, and Near.
Okay. Rune, Cardano, near, rune. Oh, wish upon a star. That's an excellent card. Really good card. Queen of Wands, also really good.
For Cardano.
And now we got the Four of Wands, so the stability card and the celebration. Okay. Well, that's exactly what I thought. I told you I love my rune, but I feel like Cardano. I haven't been feeling the love for Cardano in a long time.
Cardano people feel.
But near, yeah, I was talking about it earlier this year, and then it got a little boring. But it looks like it's exciting again.
Right. Well, near was boring, and then it was exciting. I mean, it went to like $9, right? And now I think it's like $3.
Yeah. I think it'll come back. Looks like it. There's a party in the works.
Yeah, a party in the works.
Yeah.
Well, people
hopefully people sold when it was at 9, and now they can buy it again.
All right. Well, hopefully,
if they like it.
Okay. I think if I know the mind of the crypto bro, it's like,
I'm definitely going to look into it now that you brought it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think in a lot of people's minds, because they think it's a bull market in a larger cycle, they forget about these bull market crashes. There was one last cycle, right? So people saw the bull market taking off, and it was like they were going to ride off into the sunset. They didn't sell, and that's accounting for why people are upset.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's the thing. You have to manage your expectations, and it is one of the issues that I think we're starting to grow out of in the crypto community is these, what did you call it? The
crypto bros?
No, not crypto bros. Yeah. Shoot the moon. Shoot your wad. Shoot something. No, the people, and this is really common in with the meme things. It's like people want to buy something, and then 3 days later it goes up,
right?
1,000 X's.
Yeah, they want 100X. They want a moonshot.
That's
right,
it.
A moonshot, right?
Shoot the moon, shoot your wads. Yeah.
Right. Well,
and instead of looking at things that maybe are less exciting, so. But way more worth it. I can be very patient as long as I'm still in love. Was it you were talking about? Okay, so there's the game.
Right.
What is it? Oh, shoot. where you have 3, like somebody gives you the name of a person and you have, kill.
Oh, yeah.
What is it?
Yeah, we can't say that though. Yeah.
Have sex with.
Yeah, there's marry, punch, one night stand.
Punch. That's not how I heard it.
Yeah, I know how.
Oh, but punch.
Right. We're
trying to, that's the bad word.
Yes, I'm trying to clean it up. Right. So there's yeah. Yeah, I mean that would be good. That would be great. Crypto. I
want to do that shit.
KF marry. Yeah, we're not. That would probably be a really big hit show, right?
Yeah. So, but I mean, it's a good way to think about, like when you're looking at your portfolio. You're gonna have to make some hard decisions. So, who are you gonna punch or sell?
Right. Who are you gonna marry? And
who are you gonna have a short-term affair with? Yeah.
Right.
And who are you in it for the long haul with? Right. And if you're not in love, and it's okay to fall out of love, and like I did with
Cardano.
No, not Cardano. Near. Yeah. It was kind of like it got really exciting for a while, and then I was like, we had our thing. It's not you, it's me.
When they say it's not you, it's me. It's definitely you. It's definitely you.
Yeah, but that's how you end things, right? Politely. No, near. It's not. But Rune, I'm kind of married to Rune, right?
Okay.
So
yeah, I mean that's all things cross chain. I mean, all it takes is for All it takes is
I get my excitement.
all it takes is for Solana. All it takes is for Solana and Bitcoin to take off in tandem
and have a baby.
Well, there could be. There's
that's
something.
how I think.
There's something new coming. Like
that's how I
mean,
think of those cross-chain things, right?
Right.
The progeny of the layer ones.
Right.
This is exciting. What's coming is so exciting.
Right.
So I can't get depressed because that's myopic. You're just looking at today. That's why if you expand, go when you're looking at these coins, like open the historical view and go, okay, Bitcoin's down, but look where it was, 3 years ago. And you know what I mean? When you look at that long-term trend, then it's very exciting. Stop having that day trader mentality, and then, you won't want to hurt yourself every night, like by beating your head against the wall.
Right. Well, there was,
and always do the opposite of what everybody else is doing.
Right.
Always run in the opposite direction of wherever fear wants to take you. I'm going to write a whole book on these people, so don't get bored yet.
Right. Well, I mean, crypto is.
I'm just kidding.
If you look at the 2024 contrast, I mean, you want to talk about cryptotherapy, right? Like, it's it can be hard to face the webcam sometimes.
Well, you have to do this every day, right?
Right.
I mean, I'm only here when you drag me kicking and screaming.
Right.
So.
Right.
But it's always fun.
It's always fun.
It's always fun talking.
It's
and I know you feel so much better after you talk.
That's right. I do. Cryptotherapy, I mean,
this is crypto happy hour, but it is a form of therapy.
Right. Well, it's crypto happy hour with a therapeutic bend this week. It's it's the bar. It's the bar at the crypto spa. No, seriously, one guy I know who's actually been right. I mean, he took off and went off the grid and went to the mountains and tweeted, F this market. I'm touching grass with this beautiful landscape.
That's a very good thing.
He just said,
I mean, I do that all the time.
To hell with you. I'm coming back in 3 weeks, to buy, good luck. Good luck wallowing around in this mud. And you know what? There's something to be said for that.
No, I totally agree. Because if you're angry or depressed or whatever emotion, sad, if it's not a positive emotion, you're not making good decisions. This is literally, there's scientific research around this. So if you got to go sit outside, I mean, I do every day. I'm outside in nature, unplugging,
That's right.
Because that's what keeps me insane. I mean, if I was sane, I'd be doing all the stupid things that everybody else who's sane is doing. So I'm trying to always be unsane. Not insane. Unsane is better. Unsane.
Right.
Don't,
That's interesting.
Yeah, we're going to call it unsane.
Unsane.
Yeah. Like unhinged.
Like unhinged crypto.
Yeah.
Yes. A reminder, this is brought to you by the Patreon, Unhinged Crypto.
Hi, Patreon.
Right.
Love you guys.
We appreciate our Patreon members out there.
I know.
Right.
They can bring me more often.
Tell
them. They have to beg though next time.
Right. Well, we'll be sure to give
more
you plenty
tequila.
of love. Right. All right. So do you want
more cards?
Are
you done? You're not done.
I'm not done.
I don't know. Are you?
No, I'm not done.
I didn't think so.
Okay.
One more.
One more.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna have to visit the ladies.
Okay. Aave.
Oh.
DeFi.
Yeah. What else?
Okay.
Any more DeFi picks that you're looking at right now?
Well, there is Mantra Om.
Oh, I love.
Right. So there was Mantra, and there was Om. That like.
So Aave.
Right. Aave.
You got 3. Aave.
Om. And I was actually thinking about Whiff, the dog.
Oh. I think Popcat's better. But...
All right. Well, why don't we do Popcat?
No, these are your picks. I'm just telling you my personal opinion.
Okay. So yeah.
Okay. So Om,
Aave,
and
Whiff.
with. Okay, Ave with. Okay, Ave with. The Emperor.
Okay.
Okay, let me show you. I don't know if it means anything to him. It's stable. It's like not a big movement thing. In fact, don't you usually say when you get the Emperor card that it's time to sell? Or is that no?
No,
that's the Justice card.
Yeah, that's Justice.
Okay.
Right.
And we have Judgment. None
Right.
of these look like much movement.
Yeah, Judgment, not exciting.
And this is holding on.
Right.
Yeah. Sorry, whiff. It says hold on to whiff.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, whiff is essentially, I call that meme, it's like leveraged Solana, meaning there's Solana and there's fast moving Solana, which is the Solana memes.
Yeah.
So it's interesting that, those other two coins are not as interesting as leveraged Solana. That's somewhat interesting, right?
I guess. I mean, I'm not really super excited about any of those, but you are.
Well, I'm super excited about getting this right. I'm motivated. No, seriously. Like,
go back to the other three that you did before. Those were good,
right? All right, so I think we can wrap it up there.
Yeah.
Remember, I mean, this is what I got. I'll read it back to you what I got out of it.
Okay.
Do the opposite of your fears, right?
Always
if
a good
you're
strategy.
afraid and you're reaching for the red button, then it's the green button. Or if you're in a state of despair,
don't make any decisions.
Don't make any decisions. Find as much hope as you can.
Go sit in grass in the mountains.
And it sounds like, in some ways, sanity is overrated. If you're uncomfortable, then it's probably a bottom, right? And
you have said that to me before, and I think that feels very true to you.
It never feels good at a bottom, right?
No.
Because
unless you're excited like me, because I'm unsane. That I get excited when things go down, because I'm like, ooh, trends are coming out. Let me find something to shop for. Everything's on sale.
That's right. All right, folks.
Okay.
You heard the lady. Everything is on sale. Toby, thanks for joining us. We will see you next time.
Yes.